Everyone, Glimpse here, and today we're going to be checking out some Cyno with Furina teams. We're going to be crowning Furina. Let's get that right out of the way just so you guys can see. There you go, max level burst. Pretty cool. This just increases how much damage he's going to buff. We're going to go ahead and take a look at her with Cyno, take a look at just how much damage he's doing and everything, how much, if Furina actually fixes him. And the last thing I want to get out of the way before we start doing some testing, let's just talk about these banners really quickly. For those of you that aren't really... especially for those of you that are newer players who don't really know what you want to pull for, I'll probably do more of a video talking about these in a bit. But, so we don't know too much about Navia yet. If you really like her, pull for her. But if you're kind of on the fence, go ahead and wait a couple weeks. Wait till slightly more towards the end of the patch because we don't really know how well she's going to work with other teams. Just wait to kind of see that more in practice. The 4-stars on the banner. We got Candice, Rosaria, and Sucrose here. Sucrose, pretty good buffer if you don't have Kazuha, but if you have Kazuha, especially with some cons on Kazuha, there's no real point to Sucrose, I guess, at least in my personal opinion. Rosaria, she's fine, just mostly I use her as a crit rate buffer. She's also a cryo applicator you can use her as. Nothing too crazy. In Candice, there's almost no real use. So, I mean, these 4-stars aren't good. They're not terrible, not the best either. Kind of middle of the pack, but Sucrose is probably the one you'd want to go for the most here because she is very useful for a lot of different accounts. Then Ayaka as well. She's pretty solid, but she's... one of the problems with Ayaka is that she either has too much damage or not enough damage because all of her damage is really front-loaded, and I know some Ayaka mains will like defend her to their dying breath, and personally I haven't played her super extensively, so I'll be testing her out a bit more later after the banner release. We'll see how that goes. Here's what I'm saving for. I have Ayaka at C0. I do want to go for her weapon right here, Miss Splitter. I've saved up some wishes. I think I'm at like 40 or 50-ish pity on the weapon banner and haven't got anything in a bit, so I've been saving up primos. Hopefully, we'll see how lucky we get. And then this weapon right here, if I get it, I get it. I do think it looks really cool. I mean, it's going to be a fine weapon. It's not going to be game-breaking or anything, but it's whatever. These weapons, if you already have one of these, if you want to do like EM Raiden for some Dendro teams and everything, that's fine. Like these, the wave weapons, I don't really remember. Akuomaru. Sure, Akuomaru. I guess that's how you say it. I think that's this one, actually. But these weapons, I mean, you don't really see them at the top of any list, but you also see them just kind of like some sneaky picks will work out there. But yeah, then these weapons, I mean, they're fine. None of these 4-stars are super like must pulls, but this sword right here is really good, so I'm going to be trying to get that. And I'll do a pulling video, hopefully. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to save on all the characters and everything, at least until I get... I'm going to save until Raiden comes back around. Try to get C2 Raiden, do like a DPS showcase and everything. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So let's go ahead and do a quick Furina showcase right here. 74, 168, 163 ER, 34k HP before that, but I do have... I have after C2, so the HP gets a lot higher in a bit. And then right here, Cyno, these two both have C2, these two are C0. So, I mean, don't worry too much about this. Baiju 50k HP, which is it's a pretty solid number for him there. That's making a lot of good healing, shielding. Nahida almost 1000 EM, and then she kind of just does Dendro application to kind of trigger quicken, aggravate, and all that. All those bloom reactions with that. Furina here kind of makes this more of a quick bloom team where she's going to be, the Hydra is going to be applying with all the Dendro and Electro, and... she's also, her ult's going to be here for buffing. Her E is just going to be like sub DPS damage. Here we have Cyno, main DPS, kind of definitely like a driver on this team as well. Cyno's definitely a hyper carry, so you kind of got to invest a lot into him to see some results. Like this team right here is definitely his best team. The only replacement, really, I mean, I guess you can put like Yao Yao or something here, but personally not a fan. Just like you could use Dendro MC as well. Dendro MC is a pretty good option here for like a lot of small enemies and like waves of content, because Nahida, the only problem is after you kill everything, then nothing's going to get that Dendro application, and Baizu's not the best as a solo Dendro applicator. So we'll go ahead and look back at this. You have her on Golden Troop. That's pretty much the only set you're going to want Furina on. I have Battle Pass weapon on her, C2 or R2 right now, nothing crazy. And then here we have a signature at R1. I do have a second one, but I'm not going to refine it because this is actually, like, this right here is a really solid weapon if you do get it. There's a bunch of other characters that can work on it. I believe it's best in slot for Zhangling as well. I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure it is. So you can see 8, 10, 10. We just crowned the burst right here, 8, 8, 8, and then 6, 6. So because these ones aren't really super damage based or anything. I'm not using her as a damage dealer or driver or anything like that. I'm just using her strictly for Dendro application, so I didn't care too much about her talent levels. I mean, I'll probably get it up eventually, but it's not she's not a character that I'm super crazy about, so that's why I just haven't invested a bunch into her. I just think that she's really helpful for enabling a lot of Dendro teams. So once I'm saying, like I was saying, not too much about her personal damage, I just like the EM buff. She also gives a lot of EM to Cyno, and Cyno wants some EM 257, get some EM scaling with the weapon and everything, and then you guys can also have this EM sands on him. So you guys can pause real quick if you want to look at these artifacts, that I'll show you what we have. So overall, I think these pieces are pretty solid. Like, this was a good amount of investment. You see some of my first videos were actually about Cyno. That's kind of what, being excited about this character and farming for him is what got me into content creation and kind of got me this far. Now, I went all and got his weapon C2 and everything, and then I was slightly disappointed with his damage, and definitely it was still a lot of fun. But he was always better with Yelan. I personally never really had Yelan to run it, so instead of Furina, I was just running it with Raiden, which definitely is going to be a slight damage loss. Here, I'm going to farm just Cyno's burst really quickly while I'm talking to you guys. Yeah, so he's a character that I've always kind of, well, especially when I first saw him in the Genshin roadmap, because each region has like their signature character, and the one for Sumeru was Cyno. I thought he was super cool. I saved up a bunch for him, and I got everything that I thought would kind of make him almost busted, and then he was good. Don't get me wrong, like he does a solid amount of damage, and I always hear people defending like, no, he doesn't have damage. But I'll be real with you guys, like so C2 with signature weapon, he was doing less than a lot of my other characters that I had pretty well built, like C0 with just like a pretty solid weapon choice, not even their signature. So it was kind of discouraging. I didn't play him too much because in the overworld there's like too much damage just for small enemies and in Abyss or against like boss fights. He didn't really do enough damage to he didn't do enough damage to keep up with everyone else. So it's like, well, I'm not saying that he was ever like super weak or anything. It was nothing impressive. So we're here today to see how much Furina actually improves this. So let's go ahead and test out some damage thing. First we'll go try, let's see, let's do Masanori because it's kind of like an easy respawn. You can also replace this with Xingqiu and everything. My Xingqiu's not really built, so I'm going to show you the team that I was running before Furina, and then we're going to go back and take a look to see if Furina actually fixes Cyno's damage problem. Because like Cyno as a kit is like perfect. His attacks look so sick. It's some of the coolest things. And I do really want Cyno to work. I've been testing him a lot. I've been playing him quite a bit. So you guys kind of can see how much improvement you get here. I've kind of demonstrated him with Furina a bit, just like as a baseline in previous videos. This is kind of going to be more Cyno focused and also seeing how much Furina's ult actually helps here. Yeah, I've been playing Star Rail a lot because I have to save my wishes in Genshin. And it's just, and then I realized I want to save for Blade, so now I have to save in. So I wasn't like a super big fan of Star Rail, and then what got me into it was now that I have to save wishes on this game, I wanted to pull. So who knows, if I stay really interested in Star Rail, then maybe I'll try and maybe I'll make some videos about like pulling for Blade or whoever I want to do. Okay, you guys can start seeing some Cyno DPS numbers here. I think I probably messed that up, but there you go. Okay, so I mean, it wasn't like terrible or anything. You guys can see some big numbers there. So the thing about Cyno is that like there's never gonna be one really big damage instance with him. It's just gonna be what's it called? It's always just gonna be like, oh, that was a lot of small numbers that you kind of see being hit. So I mean, like I'm saying, none of that was terrible damage, but I always feel like I just had better options, especially with like especially it feels like he's getting more power creep now with options like Nuvalet, Alhaitham, Ryo, Thisly. It seems like the difference is a lot greater. My Ryo I've invested a lot into, and he's been doing really well. I'm really impressed with Ryo. So I might want to go for like an extra con or two when he comes back constellation wise. But you guys can kind of see that Cyno would need a bit of a damage buff there to kind of stand above the rest. So let's go back, give this a shot with Furina right now, and okay, you guys can have a quick healing demonstration. Look at that, 3.5k. I mean, it's pretty nice enough for just for like overworld hanging out. Don't go using that on Don't be using that in combat or anything, just bring another healer, but I kind of just like to test it out sometimes, see how much healing she's actually doing. Okay, we'll go back here. Oh, running the wrong way. Okay, now let's give this a shot here. You guys can kind of keep an eye on like everyone that's doing damage. Now, Furina definitely buffs a lot of new characters that have a problem with damage output. This is just something that I kind of want to demonstrate with Cyno specifically, because it almost seems like this is exactly what people are oh, shoot. I forgot to use Furina Burst. That's fine. Watch this. We'll just wait till we have one more, like, E skill. Okay, there you go. There's max stacks. And then, like... Oh my gosh. Here, you guys can see cool Cyno attacks. Now, I messed up slightly there, so some of you guys are going to be like, that's not... That wasn't even Cyno's damage. Which, I mean, I guess that's kind of fair criticism there. But his attacks look so cool, it's like... So you see one problem here with everything dying too quickly is that Cyno definitely gets less energy back. Like, when everything dies quicker, you don't really get to attack. I've never really had problems with energy on Cyno until these teams, because it does kill things too quickly. You don't get to use your skill as often, which was one of the main things that was really good about Thundering Fury. Because everyone was saying Thundering Fury and Gilded, like between those options. Either's fine. Personally, I'm a Thundering Fury guy. I think it's pretty cool. Let's see. To be fair, my Cyno could use a bit more ER, but like, it was never really a problem before because it always just survived. Like, the enemies would survive long enough most of the time to get your burst back. Oh, yeah, we don't want them to die. Okay, let's go. Okay. Yeah, one of the things about Furina is that you do want her to kind of use her burst first, which is so you can get the stacks just while you're going through everything. That was one thing I forgot about because I was just I was just doing my Raiden team last time, and that's kind of what my brain got in the mindset of doing. But yeah, so I do have a guaranteed 5-star character. I'm already at C1 Raiden, so I'm probably just going to start saving to get that. So if you guys do want to see that, like, comment, subscribe. You guys know the deal. Just want to say thank you all again so much for the support. Sorry videos have been a little bit slower. It's just been crazy with finals and everything, so. Alright, let's do it for real this time. Oh, there's max stacks. Okay, and then... Dude, oh my gosh, that's crazy. Like... Oh, you guys can see. What? Look at how cool that charge attack is. Like... I mean, never used that, but it looks so sick. Dude, those attacks look insane. Like, that's definitely one of my favorite characters in terms of design-wise. Yeah, since we used Cyno from the start there, you guys kind of saw his damage buff and everything. Nobody got their burst back. Like, that's a problem with Furina. That's crazy. It, like... So, do I personally feel that Furina fixes Cyno's issues? I feel like, I would say, yeah. I feel like... Well, because in my brain, right, it was always like... Sara would be perfect for him if her burst if her like buff lasted longer. But the problem with Sara is that like she's made for Raiden, where it's literally just you get like a second to hit your damage off, and then that's it. Because I don't really think they want you to just have that full crit damage uptime. Yeah, it died before. That's fine. I'm surprised that stayed here. Okay. You never actually look at those little pieces, but they're like little orbs with holes in them, or like. Some of them are kind of different. That's weird. They look pretty cool, though. Like, look at the little drops. I'm pretty sure they all look the same, but I almost never take the second to actually stop and look at them. That's fun. But yeah, does he fix the damage output-wise? Yes. Like, I've been using him against boss fights and some domain clears, and again, especially on, like, the domain for Child. The new... The Voracaush's Glow and Nymph Stream. Let me show you guys really quickly what I'm talking about. Sumeru. It's up here. Yeah, I've been farming this domain recently as well, just to try to get a better, like, Child and Deha. Oh yeah, those of you that have watched just because of Deha, that video's been doing pretty well. Deha update soon. I finally got her to 80 out of 90 and everything. Let me show you guys where my Deha's at. Just really quickly, and then I'll go finishing thoughts up with Cyno. But yeah, finals are over, so hopefully I can start making some more videos soon. I want to make the pulling video. I want to talk. There's a lot of things I want to talk about, so we'll see how that goes. And like, dude, Cyno's so cool though. I'm really glad that Furina's been here to do like a damage buff for a lot of characters like Cyno, Noelle, Deha, things like that. Here you guys can see Deha, 80 out of 90 now. Her crit stats do need a bit of work. She's at 52, 109. Pretty close to a 1-to-2 ratio. We have this at level 80. Artifacts, Alvaro Kasha, I think most of them are leveled. Yeah, like 2 of them are 16. But like, okay, come on, look at this, guys. What? Why? Like, that could have been so good. His onset with pyro damage, and it had crit damage, and like some HP for the scaling and everything. It just went all into flat HP. Like, really? And then look at this piece. How is that level 16? Where did all my stats go? Like, you go, relatable streamer moment. Like, oh, that's crazy. Those both could have been so much better here. But, I mean, it's whatever. It's not the end of the world. Here's my Kaching real quick. You can see 80 out of 80. Nice enter. She's going to get up some more crit damage. So there's more crit damage waiting there. She's 88, 180 right now. I do have this weapon. I want to pull on the weapon banner right now for her. But you guys can take a look at these artifacts as well. These are pretty solid. Like, that's crazy. That's pretty decent. This one's fine, I guess. That's pretty solid. And that's pretty solid. So right now she's kind of like on a split build. We'll test her out a bit more later. Whenever I do test her out with her weapon, I might put her just on Cyno's build because they're pretty much built the same way. For like if I want to do Dendro teams. I do have an EM Sands from Cyno I can switch her off to. But yeah, I do want more of a crit damage based weapon. And then, but yeah, like those stats are pretty solid for right now. And then especially because all we do is when we ascend, we're going to get more crit damage. And then we're going to get more crit damage from the weapon. So we'll see how everything plays out. But she's leveled up. I'm starting to work on this. I just got her to this level today. So I do want to get her built a bit more before the test. Okay, just wanted to tell my plans for those of you that are still watching, kind of want to hear the answer. Now we're back to Furina and everything. Does Furina fix Cyno? I would say she fixes like 80% of his problems. Yes, Yolana's pretty good. Yolana gives like the 50% damage buff to the active character and everything. But, I mean, I'll probably make a video talking about it again when Yolana's actually released. I just think that, personally, I know Yolana's buff isn't as good as Furina's. And with the Furina buff and everything, when you tap Cyno E and then you see the HP bar just like fly down, it's crazy. So it definitely seems like all the problems, Furina fixes a lot of Cyno's problems with damage wise. Because like his kit and everything, it works perfectly. He's not like super squishy or anything, especially with Baiju coming here to kind of fix his like resistance to interruption. So it's not like he's going to get one shot very often or anything. And then like Nahida with the EM buff, Baiju is shielding and healing, Furina with the HP drain and the damage buff, and like for the quick blooms and everything, this team right here is almost like perfect for Cyno. So if you're willing to invest this much into this character, he's definitely like kind of expensive to build. If you're willing to invest this much into a character, yeah, go ahead and pull him. I think you're going to be pretty happy with him, especially if he's just a character that you like as much as I do. Like, this is really one of my favorite character designs in the game. I think this is like, I think he looks so sick. So if he's a character that you do really enjoy, and I mean, if you're watching this video, it's either because you like Cyno a lot or you like me, especially if you're at this point. Hopefully it's both, like who knows. But yeah, it's just Cyno's banner's almost over. I was going to do this beforehand. I want to do this video earlier. I just really, time got away from me. So you guys have like an hour left, or not an hour, a day and a half left about. So if you guys were still on the fence about Cyno and this is like your last call and you guys kind of see you have Furina or you have the other piece to make it work, or you have close alternatives to this and like you have good weapons and everything. If you have everything to make the character work, like this is definitely going to be in the upper range of Cyno's damage, like solo wise, because I definitely have pretty high investment, like 80 to 240 and then 257 EM with like Furina at C2 with Cyno at C2, signature weapon. It's like, this is going to be the higher end of what you see. And if you think that that looks pretty solid to you and like you personally feel like that's good damage, then great, go for that. Like I would say, even though I do have some other pretty high tier DPS, I think that Cyno is definitely really impressive right now in terms of how far his damage has come. And this isn't just saying that like you need Cyno or anything. Like I'm saying, you guys saw his damage without buffs and everything, or without Furina. And for the same thing, if you like that damage and if you just think that his playstyle is worth pulling for, and that looks like a character that you would have a lot of fun playing, then go for it. Because I'm gonna be real with you, he's a lot of fun. Like when I was running domains and stuff, I switched. Let me show you guys what I was doing when we were running domains. I switched his weapon from this weapon to this, just so he has enough ER, and then I was not really worrying about the damage buff and everything. I just went to here, and then I was just running with enough ER to keep... you can also switch them to an ER Sans if you have a pretty good one. Yeah, but I was just running these because it was just like a quick little swap that I can swap back after. Just to get his burst back and like use him as a fun playstyle. And Furina was still buffing him enough to make that pretty viable to where I wasn't clearing the domain slow or anything. So yeah, like if you like this type of character, like or if you just like Cyno specifically, like now is probably one of the best. This is probably one of the best teams he's gonna get. I don't know if there's gonna be too many characters left that are released that are gonna make him better. But this team right here is pretty much almost made for him. Like, it almost seems like everything is so tailored. Like, Baizu almost seems like a support tailored specifically for Cyno. But, I mean, Baizu works with a bunch of characters, especially now that, like, Furina came out and everything. Baizu's value did go up. So, I thought Baizu was great from the start. Everyone's been kind of saying he's mid. And I'm glad I stuck by him. I'm glad I invested into him a lot. 50k HP, that's pretty solid, I'd say. But yeah, there's not too much else after that. So, overall, if you do like this character, 100% pull for him. It's just, know that there might be like some ER problems if you're killing the enemies too quickly, or he's going to be kind of hard to use in the overworld. Like, yeah, the video is pretty much over, so if that's all you guys really wanted to see, you can go ahead and head out. Just want to say thank you all so much for watching. Once again, if you do want to see more of this type of stuff, like, comment, subscribe. Let's go out to, let's see, where's this guy? Let's go here. I'm going to just do one of these. Just do one of these commissions really quickly, and you guys can kind of take a look at how he does without using his burst, really. No. We're not going to use his burst because you're not going to have it like 100% uptime in the overworld. Let me just make it more, slightly more hyper carry type team. We'll do... Where's he at? Kazuha, and then we'll go Zhongli, just to have like that constant shield uptime. Then normally like Bennett, but I don't really want to do Pyro Bennett. Let's see, we can just do probably just Nahida, I guess, or not Nahida, Raiden, so you can keep her batteried. Well, let's do this a bit. You guys can go ahead and take a look at how this plays out right here. And these are slimes, so it's not going to be anything, you're not going to see anything super crazy, but this is just kind of in case you wanted to see what his overworld damage did look like. Here, we'll go this. And I'm going to try not to kill them too quickly with this type of thing. Let's see. Oh shoot, I shouldn't have pressed down. Well, but like I'm saying, remember guys, anything works in the overworld, so... Yeah, he's not great at breaking this shield. Let's... There you go. Just that... Oh. There you go, okay. You guys can kind of see, look at his damage here. If you guys think that looks fine for overworld and everything, then perfect, yeah. Go ahead and pull for him if that's like the type of thing you want it for. If you don't care about the overworld, like most people, anything will work. You can kind of see us trying not to kill them there, just the off-field. But yeah, that's pretty much going to wrap up this video. I just wanted to do that demonstration because, like, personally, I know that when I was pulling for Zhao and Cyno, I both kind of had the same questions as to how well they would work in the overworld. But yeah, I mean, hey, look, we got our energy back, so I guess that's good. Let me switch him back to his team because it's like the only team I'm ever going to play him in for the time being. It's just like so tailored for him, it's crazy. But yeah, he definitely is more limited than some other characters. Like, there's not too much not too much creative freedom in team building. Like, this is pretty much his signature team. This is what you want to do. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up there. Gonna post this, hopefully posting some more videos over the next couple days. Might do a Star Wars video, so don't be too surprised if that comes out. Might just talk about opinions on it and stuff. But yeah, overall, hope you guys all have a great day, and hope you did enjoy the video. That was pretty sick. Okay, yeah, hope you all had a great day. Let me know what you think down below. Let me know your guys' opinions of Cyno, what your experience has been with this character, and yeah, or if you're gonna pull him, just if you did pull him recently, what you've thought of him so far, what you need to work on for the Cyno build. Let me know if you have any questions at all. I'll try my best to answer. I always think it's a lot of fun to kind of help you guys out with like builds or questions about who you want for upcoming characters or team building or just whatever, just go ahead, feel free to drop this down below. I'll answer whatever I can to the best of my ability. So that wraps it up there. Have a good one, guys. See ya.